Have you ever stopped to wonder why so many people spend their entire lives working hard, grinding, chasing money, and yet still end up feeling empty, stressed, or trapped? We live in a world where money decides everything, where most choices revolve around whether you can afford it, whether it pays well, or whether it's worth the cost. Slowly, without realizing it, money becomes a master, and we, without resistance, become the slaves. But deep down, you already know this. No matter how much money you make, if you remain chained to it emotionally, mentally, and spiritually, you will never be free. The crazy truth? Real abundance has very little to do with how much you earn. It's about how much power you give money over your life. It's about your energy, your trust, your courage, and your willingness to stop living in scarcity and start living in overflow. This is a crazy technique I'm about to share with you. How to live abundantly without being a slave to money. It's daring, it's different, and yes, it might sound insane at first, but the insane ones are often the ones who discover what the rest of the world is too afraid to try. The first step, redefine abundance. Most people define abundance as the size of their bank account, the size of their house, or the kind of car they drive. But if you tie abundance to numbers, you'll forever live in fear of losing them. True abundance is not a number. It's a state of being. It is a feeling of enoughness. It is waking up in the morning and knowing that life will provide, that you are capable, that opportunities exist, and that your value isn't tied to a paycheck. It is knowing that wealth is not just money. It's freedom, time, energy, peace, relationships, and joy. Abundance is not counted. Abundance is felt. When you internalize this truth, you stop obsessing over lack. You stop comparing yourself with others. You stop calculating your worth based on digits on a screen. You realize that abundance flows from within, and when it flows within, it manifests without. This is not wishful thinking. It is alignment. The energy you carry determines the reality you attract. Scarcity versus overflow. Scarcity is a voice that whispers, "It's not enough. You're not enough. Life is hard. Money is short. Success is limited." Scarcity makes you cling, hoard, and fear. Scarcity convinces you that life is a competition, and someone else's win is automatically your loss. Scarcity keeps you small. Overflow, on the other hand, is a quiet but powerful belief. There's more where that came from. I can create. I can expand. I can grow. Life is not limited. Overflow makes you generous, creative, open, and fearless. Overflow makes you play bigger because you trust that no matter what, more will come. Here lies the crazy technique. You don't chase abundance. You embody it. You don't beg for money. You carry the energy that attracts it. You don't live in fear of losing. You live in the joy of giving and creating. Scarcity chains you. Overflow frees you. The hidden cost of being a slave to money. When you live as a slave to money, you trade your soul for security. You make decisions you hate just to feel safe. You sacrifice your time, your health, your dreams, your relationships, all for a sense of stability that never feels stable enough. You work harder, earn more, yet somehow the anxiety remains. You tell yourself, once I have more, I'll finally feel secure. But it's never enough, is it? Money slavery is not about poverty. It's about fear. There are rich slaves of money, just as there are poor slaves of money. And there are free people who may not yet be wealthy, but live with abundance in their spirit. Freedom doesn't start when you reach a certain amount. Freedom starts when you stop letting money decide who you are. You can have millions and still be poor if fear owns you. You can have little and still be rich if freedom lives inside you. Pause right here and ask yourself honestly, am I living in fear of money, or am I living in flow with money? Am I chained to it, or am I free enough to see it as just one part of life? The crazy technique isn't something you just listen to and forget. It's something you practice daily. So if these words strike a chord with you, don't just nod, act. Start shifting your mindset. Start saying to yourself, I am enough. I can create. I trust the flow. Share this message, subscribe, and commit right now to living differently. Don't wait until tomorrow. Start today, living as if you already have enough. One of the boldest, craziest techniques for abundance is this. Live like you already have enough. Stop waiting for the future moment when, finally, you'll be free. Freedom is not later. Freedom is now. Start walking, talking, and creating as if you are already abundant. Because the truth is, you are. Abundance is not something you earn after years of sacrifice. Abundance is something you awaken to right here, right now, when you live as if you already have enough. Fear loses its grip. Gratitude takes over. And gratitude multiplies. The more you are grateful, the more you notice blessings. The more you notice blessings, the more they expand. This is not magic. This is alignment of perception and energy. Live in gratitude, and you'll never live in lack. Courage to look crazy. Here's the uncomfortable truth. Stepping into abundance will make you look crazy to people who live in scarcity. They'll call you naive for trusting life. They'll call you unrealistic for choosing passion over security. They'll mock you for believing that you can live freely without obsessing over money. But remember, the world is built by those who dared to look insane before it became common sense. To live abundantly, you must accept being misunderstood. You must accept that some people will not get it. And you must accept that your path is different because you are choosing freedom over fear. And freedom always looks strange to the imprisoned. Identity shift. From money chaser to abundance carrier. The craziest technique is not an external action. It is an internal identity shift. Instead of seeing yourself as someone who needs to chase money, see yourself as someone who carries abundance. When you identify as a money chaser, you're always behind. When you identify as an abundance carrier, you are always ahead. Money becomes drawn to you because you embody value, creativity, and courage. You don't chase what you are. You attract it. This is why mindset matters. It's not just about positive thinking. It's about becoming a person whose energy magnetizes abundance. It's about embodying the truth that life supports you when you stop running from fear. The energy of detachment. Another part of the crazy technique is detachment. You stop clinging. You stop begging. You stop panicking. Detachment doesn't mean you stop caring. It means you stop fearing. You recognize money for what it is, a tool, nothing more, nothing less. You don't worship it. You don't obsess over it. You use it when needed, but you never let it define you. Detachment is powerful because it flips the dynamic. When you stop chasing money, money starts chasing you. When you release fear, you create space for flow. Detachment is the art of letting go so you can receive more. The tighter you hold, the less you have. The more you let flow, the more you gain. Gratitude and faith as fuel. The real engine of abundance is gratitude and faith. Gratitude grounds you in the now. Faith pulls you into the future. Gratitude says, I already have. Faith says, more is coming. Together, they create a mindset of enoughness and expectation. And that combination is unstoppable. Fear says, what if I lose? Faith says, what if I grow? Scarcity says, there's not enough. Gratitude says, there's already plenty. This constant choice between fear and faith, between scarcity and gratitude, is what shapes your reality. The crazy technique simply demands you choose gratitude and faith again and again until it becomes your default state. Breaking the generational pattern. Most of us inherit scarcity from generations before us. Families that worried about money pass down fear, even if their financial situation improves. This is why abundance is less about numbers and more about energy. The crazy technique is also about breaking cycles. It's about saying, I will no longer carry fear forward. I choose trust. I choose overflow. I choose freedom. When you break that chain, you shift not just your life, but the lives of those after you. You plant seeds of courage and overflow that grow into forests of abundance for generations. That is true wealth. So let me ask you directly, are you ready to try it? Are you ready to dare? Because the truth is, abundance won't wait for you to feel safe. Abundance responds to boldness. And the craziest, most powerful step you can take is to decide today, right now, that you will no longer be a slave to money. You will no longer bow to fear. You will no longer live in scarcity. Instead, you will live in overflow, gratitude, courage, and faith. If these words moved you, then don't keep them to yourself. Share this message, subscribe, commit in your heart that you will start living abundantly today, not someday, not after a raise, not after savings grow. Today, right now, because the truth is simple, abundance is already here. It's waiting for you, but it takes courage to claim it. Abundance is a mindset. Wealth is an energy. Freedom is a choice. Dare to try, then dare to live free. And when you do, you will see that the crazy technique isn't crazy at all. It's the truest, most liberating way to live. And from this day forward, you are no longer a slave to money. You are a carrier of abundance. You are free,